Hey everyone, it's Cuddly, Kitwana. Hockey is finally back. A new NHL season is just around the corner. And don't worry, my team are still the Florida Panthers, which I've been a fan of since 20 years exactly. But if I had to name a second favorite NHL team, I would definitely have a clear choice, and that would be the Nashville Predators. And of course, you know that I'm a huge sports mascot fan. That is because of their mascot, Gnash, that we've got here. Before we get to the plushie, Gnash is, as said, the mascot of the Nashville Predators. And how this came to be is back in the 1970s when they developed the site in downtown Nashville, they found the fangs and the forelegs of a Smilodon, and that's basically how the Smilodon was chosen to be as the mascot species for the Nashville Predators. And Gnash is really one of the hottest looking, most attractive mascots in the NHL. And I would even say in all of North American sports. And I think Smilodons are badass animals, and of course Gnash looks very fierce, and he's quite a prankster, I can tell you. But on the other hand, Gnash is also very friendly. He's so great around kids, and I had the privilege to meet him twice so far. Most recently, I've been at a Nashville Predators versus Florida Panthers game in Nashville, and I encountered Gnash there. I had chosen my seat right next to the band stage where the music band and Gnash usually are performing during a home game. And before that, in early 2024, I went to Toronto to the NHL Mascot Showdown, and not only I've got to witness a lot of magical moments involving Gnash and especially some of his younger fans, but what I also saw there is the existence of this plus that we are going to talk about today. It's the 2021 Nashville Predators mascot Gnash, 35 inches plus, created by the Stuffed Animal House. The Stuffed Animal House is a Canadian toy company. They are based in Langley, British Columbia, and they specialize in a lot of non-licensed plus of local wildlife. But one of the very few licenses that they own is of the NHL, and they have created mascot plushies of every NHL team so far. Even those that do not have a mascot, as I was able to tell at the NHL Mascot Showdown in Toronto. They had a big merchandise store there, and it was plushies of each and every NHL team. Even the New York Rangers, they just had a generic black teddy bear. But anyway, 35 inches mascot plushies like this one are still pretty rare. Only 5 NHL teams have them so far. Mascot plushies of that size exist of Bowie of the Seattle Kraken, Tommy Hawk of the Chicago Blackhawks, Louis of the St. Louis Blues, and the most recent addition was Thunderback of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Unfortunately, none of Stanley C. Panther of my Florida Panthers yet. Hopefully in the future someday. But until that becomes a reality, I am settling with my second favorite, and that is Gnash. And I'm so glad that there is a 35 inches plus version of Gnash, one of my very favorite sports mascots. And that's what we are looking at today. So let's go in close and take a look at all the details of this fantastic plus. And it really is fantastically engineered, as we can already tell by feeling the ears. There's kind of a cardboard stiffener in them that makes these ears stay upright like that, but you can still move them, of course. And got these little orange hairs, big eyebrows. The eyes are embroidered, but unfortunately they are not quite the shape of the actual Mascot. I guess they wanted to make the Plush look a little bit more friendlier than the actual real life Gnash. I think, yeah, that's okay. He looks still accurate enough. If we look at the rest of the face with this orange and blue pattern, and see around the muzzle, his blue nose, and there's even a tongue in its mouth, and of course his two big teeth for a Smilodon. They are a little bit longer on the actual Mascot, and it's a little trick that I do to make this plushie look even better. I'm tucking in a part of this white plush that goes around his face so it would not sting into his eyes. I think it looks better that way, but of course you can display it however you want. The head, I would say his face looks really great and definitely not too far off from the real Mascot. Let's go further down to his jersey, and this looks so great. It's the current Nashville Predators home jersey. Their iconic yellow, and the quality of the print job is absolutely great. It's printed directly into the fabric. You do not feel anything when you pat your finger over the logo. That fantastic logo. I really love the Nashville Predators branding. It's also really great when you're in Nashville around the arena. There's lots of Nash artwork, Mascot artwork around the arena and around the city actually. Continuing with the jersey, it does have the Nashville Predators and Tennessee state flag shoulder pads as well, which you can compare with my jersey that I'm wearing here. That's a recent, last season, 2024-25 Nashville Predators home jersey that I'm wearing. And Nash jersey would basically be removable, but his head is too wide, so you cannot really slip the jersey over his head. I think they in the factory they put it on before they stuffed the toy. And take a look underneath his jersey. Unfortunately, they did not model his muscles and abs. That's too bad. That would have been really, really hot if they were able to replicate that on the toy, but they did not. That's a shame. His pants are sewn on, which is great, so they do not get lost, which is often a problem on plushies wearing pants, that they do not fit properly. The pants have the original Nashville Predators logo as well, as it can be seen on the player's pants. And then look at these light blue legs all the way down. They have the blue striping, and they even integrated the claws that are visible on the real Mascot as well. Same is true for his hand paws. Look at that. It's all the claws embroidered onto the plush. That looks really, really good. And then further down the sleeves of his jersey, you can also see his number, the 00, like so many mascots have. And then let's turn the plush around to see the back of his head. Unfortunately, they left out the pattern markings. There's some more striping going on on the rear of his head, on the real Mascot. They just left it a solid blue here on the plus. But that's okay, at least he looks accurate from the front. His jersey has his name, Nash, and the 00 in the actual font that the Nashville Predators use, even with the guitar strings. That's a really cool detail. And if you're wondering about the autograph that's visible here, of course the plushie does not come with the autograph on. I actually had it signed back in February 2025, which was my most recent meeting with Nash at the home game versus the Florida Panthers. I was sitting right next to Nash States, and he came over to me twice actually. Once in the first period and then the second time in the third period. And I got plenty of interaction with him, and I know he was excited that I would travel all the way from Switzerland just to see him, and so he was happy to sign my plushie like that, and that's really, really cool. That just increased the value of that plushie. Going further down, again, underneath his jersey, his pants are sewn on all the way around, as is the tail, and the tail is stuffed as well and has this blue tiger striping pattern, although Smilodons are basically not saber-toothed tigers. That term isn't correct. Smilodon is genetically not related to any current tiger species. A more accurate term for a Smilodon would be saber-toothed cat. Learn something new. Alright, all the way down, see tail. Tail is just dangling down, it's stuffed. On the actual Mascot, the tail is pointing upwards. So they had to cut into Nash's actual jersey in order to accommodate the tail. Pretty interesting for a predator. And while we are down there, you can see the tags. It's an officially licensed product by the NHL, and there's the stuffed animal house tag. Apparently this was made in March 2021 when they couldn't have fans at home games due to the COVID pandemic. So I guess that's what made them create a really, really big mascot that you could have at least at home and watch the games from home with Nash sitting on your lap. Oh, look at that, he's so great. But there's one thing about this plush that I don't really like. I mean, it's not a major issue, you can fix it, but the thing is that his jersey and his pants tend to accumulate dust and dirt rather quickly. It starts to pile up, but there's a method to solve that problem, and that is by purchasing a small device that will cost you about $20, and it's called a fabric saver or a depiler. And then after about a week or two of frequently hugging and cuddling him, it's time to give him some tender loving care. Just turn the device on, it's pretty easy. And then you start going in circles all around his jersey, his pants, and also the inside of the mouth and his teeth. These are also prone to gather dust and dirt, but you can easily remove all that by using this little handy dandy device. And just after a couple minutes of treating him, he will look like new, like you just purchased him. And so it's not really a problem, but you just have to know before you're actually purchasing him that this will happen to you if you happen to cuddle with Nash. Now, speaking of purchasing, Nash is still available. As of late 2025, I have recorded this video in September 2025, and Nash is available online through the Nashville Locker Room store. That's the official team store of the Nashville Predators. Every now and then he tends to sell out online, but there's also a second method to get him, and that is simply attending a Predators home game. He's available in the official store there in the arena that you can also visit when there's no game or event scheduled. It's basically open pretty much every day, and he's available there and online for $149 right now. And remember, this is a 35-inch plus. Yes, it is a lot of money, especially in that area. Tennessee isn't the wealthiest state of the US, although Nashville is doing pretty well. The city is growing. But still, that's a lot of money for many of you, and I understand that. So if that's a little bit out of your budget, there's a second option. That's much cheaper. There's a 17-inch plus of Gnash as well, and it's also made by the Stuffed Animal House. It's the exact same, just half the size. You can see that here. And this one's also a great plus here. I can't remember the retail price right now. I'm gonna give it to you on screen. I think it was $39 or $49, something like that. I remember when they sold these at the NHL Mascot show down in Toronto, they were all $49.99 Canadian dollars. So I think they are worth the money if you really love mascots. The Stuffed Animal House creates the most accurate looking NHL mascot plushies, and they are really well engineered. The large version of Gnash, if you hug him, you can feel that they even have used some kind of stabilization to keep his head stable, and he is actually able to sit. He cannot stand, of course, but he's able to sit like that. Not using my paws. That's really cool, and he's so big. Take a look at that. You can hug and cuddle him like that. Oh, he also looks great when you take him to the game and place it in a seat next to you. I got so many great comments of fellow fans, both of the Predators and the Panthers fans that were there actually, and I think that every NHL team or every major league team in North America should have a 35-inch mascot plushie. So yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments what NHL team are you rooting for, or about your your favorite NHL mascot. I would love to hear from you. And I wish the Nashville Predators good luck for the next season. This is from a Florida Panthers fan, but I secretly cheer for them as well, and that's because of Gnash. And he's so great. There's over 600 community events each year. He's really active, and does a lot of good stuff. So Gnash is all around a perfect mascot, and you can finally own him in a large size, and you can cuddle and hug and play with Gnash whenever you want. And that's what I'm gonna do right now. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the upcoming NHL season, and until the next episode, goodbye. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.